Hello everyone, welcome to today's video. Hope you are having a great day. So today I want to discuss a topic that came up in Reddit quite a lot in the past times. It always comes up. It's not even Overwatch exclusive, it's like the same in all team games. Like, why am I matched with teammates that have clearly no clue how the game works? Why are they doing such random things? What are they even doing? I do not know, but I know that I should have been in a much higher elo than I am. They are bringing me down. I am in the Elohell because of my teammates. And today, I want to tell you how to use your teammates to climb. Well, it's easy. You climb by learning, by improving in your game. And today I want to show you how you actually use your VOD reviews to understand how you climb with your teammates. So, if you go to career profile, you go to history, you go to replays, you see you will find some lost matches. We go on our lost match, you can either click share to send it to me, then you get a VOD review, or you can click view to view it yourself. Let's go. So here we have a game. It's a Control P, the button combination, you can pause it. With N, the N key, you can bring up the overlay. Yeah, let's make me a little bit smaller. With the button plus and minus, like this plus minus on numpad, you can make it slower and faster. And with B, you can open options. Always open options first. Reduce your time skip interval length to something smaller. I like 7 or 8 seconds. Like, you can just pull it down to minimum 5. It's fine. Not like happens much. And then with the keys F1 to F10, you can skip through all people playing. So F1 to F5 are the enemy team, and in the past F6 were the enemy 6 teammates, F7, and so your team starts with F7, not with F6. So F6 was reserved for, well, the 6th player, which is gone now in Overwatch 2. So F7 to F11 is now my team. Sometimes you're on team red, sometimes you're on team blue. You just have to know that you are, well, that the red outline is not for enemies here, it's for team 2, and I am on team 2, I am a number F8. That's what I'm playing here. So I'm playing here Sojourn. And so, you might have also played Sojourn or a different character before, so I will just explain what I was doing here. Like, there was one of my training runs, like, I'm playing Sojourn here, let's pretend I tried to win, not train. And so I have a game plan of how I play Sojourn. What do I need? I need to walk in with my tank. Well, you know, just have rough proximity to my team, go with them, charge my railgun by shooting at the enemy tank, possibly to the head, without shooting into damage mitigation abilities like Zarya Bubbles or Orion's Shield, but you know, go around it as much as I need, but as little as I can, so I'm kind of closer to safety if I need, and then I get my railgun and my E, and then I try to assassinate something, so I slide in, throw my E up somewhere on the ground, railgun headshot something, whatever needs to be done, so I railgun something. So that's my game plan. Then I run around the fight, get railgun charged again, then try to headshot something with my railgun. Or maybe I will find a Zoro target, like maybe there's a soldier alone on high ground, then I can jump onto him and pump some left clicks into his body, primary fire into her body. I changed the left click, right click for my soldier right now because for experimentation. And then finish off with railgun, like body shot railgun, you know, that two things, like go with team effort and railgun something on the head, or find a Zoro target you can kill. When you have your E ability as a soldier, you can kill everything. So that's my plan, right? And now what happens is this. We can skip. Sorry, the noise looks ugly on stream, very sorry for that. Just bear with me, make it faster. Oh. Wrong button. Oh, I messed everything up. Okay, we are back. So I go in, I throw in my E. I rotate around, just scout what they have. Think not going further because my team is behind me, so just charge a railgun, scout what they had. Didn't see a widow, so I can continue to rotate. There's a Zarya bubble, so we continue to rotate. Don't shoot the Zarya bubbles. I predict Zarya go right because my D.Va jumps in, and then I see only the Zarya. So I cannot not see any other enemies. So, but my Zarya is already, my D.Va is already deep. So I go to the left and try to find a crucial target. I need to go all in now because see my entire team is all inning. So there's my D.Va is deep diving. My Genji is lacking behind. My Lucio is too slow. Like D.Va dives alone. Apparently Baptiste is now in healing position. You see the grenade on the right side. But here's the Baptiste grenade flying. towards my diva, but you know she's already so low, no armor, probably no damage mitigation. There's a Discord orb, like this is looking grim. Like heal boost from Lucio is just not enough. This is not enough. And so me finding now an enemy, even if I headshot something here, this is not enough. And so now I'm under a lot of pressure. I need to right click or lose a round, basically. Well, I missed everything. Right, I railgun into nothing because there was 3 people stacked, and right when I shoot, they run around. Happens, random, sometimes. And now my Smooper man is demacked, and we lost the fight. Well, now we're still kind of trying to finish it, but well, it's lost. So I try to just go in and find a one-on-one to finish it off. So I either take one with me or just die alone fast. So I regroup with my team. And now I'm dead. And that is my thought process. And now I respawn and I think, man, what a stupid team. Like, I climb here to Diamond, I sweat my ass off, I train my aiming, I play my try-diff way, I have my coaching, I have my Reddit guides, I know all of them, I do everything perfect, but you know, Diva just flies in alone. What can I do? She's just there without me, like, GG. Thanks through the game. Nothing I can do, right? Right? And so I might sit here and think, man, I'm an Elohell again, I lost the game, what am I going to do? And that is the point. And that is the entire point of this video. What do you do in such situations? Like, you have your game plan, your tank is not executing, you think your tank is just, yeah, this tank is clearly not on my level, right? And now he jumps again, the random stupid jump, doesn't work, GG. Okay, so, now you are in this situation. And remember, the goal of today's video is, how do you use now this, my tank to improve my gameplay? And for this, I need to understand what went wrong, basically. So, what happens here is, your tank, your heals, your other DPS, all have the exact same skill rating as you have. Well, to be more precise, the same matchmaking rating as you have right now. So, because, you know, matchmaking rating is invisible, it's a little bit volatile, I don't want to go into details of that. Like, you have your visible SR and your hidden MMR, and the MMR is what's used for matchmaking, basically. So everyone here has the same MMR, so basically the same skill level, right? So, even if this tank would now play a Doomfist, which is currently the weakest tank in the game, but if he reached this level with Doomfist, with the weakest tank in the game, while you are playing Sojourn, one of the strongest characters in the game right now, you still have the same value. And that is because your value in the game is basically the combination of your character strengths together with what you can do on this character in this specific situation. Right? It's not like your skill in the void. No, it's how you apply your skill with the character you're currently playing. The same applies for your tank. So even if you play something like Doomfist, even if he's kind of using a throw pick, you know, maybe there's a Metra 1 trick, it's fine. He still has the same 50-50 chance of winning as you have in this game. He has the same skill on the character he's playing as you have on the character you are playing right now. So that's the first thing you need to understand. Everyone here has the same skill level. Oh, but then, if this guy has the same skill level as me, why is he then inting in? Like, he's clearly doing things that are bad for my play, right? No. The thing how it works is, I play Sojourn. And during all games, I get experience on Sojourn. And after a while, I get, you know, I have some personal preference, like how I like to play. And then I notice, okay, I like to play like the style I described and how I go in. And then I have tanks that work really well with this style. Like, it would work very well with Narissa. It would work really well with a Reinhardt, right? Like this, going with my tank, starting my railgun shot, and then finding an angle to headshot something. Would work really well with a tank that kind of allows me to stand in the choke for a little bit. Right? And so my brain recognizes this situation is, oh, these tanks are better. And the thing is that my brain recognizes then that this is the correct way to play. Because my brain just notices the pattern. If my tank plays like this, I win. If my tank plays different, I lose. And so my brain tells me this is how a tank should be played. This is how a support should be played. Like, if I get damage boost from Mercy, I win. If we have Azignac Discord Orb instead, I lose. So, and that is then the entire point. Like, and this is not only about picks. Like, Now imagine you have a Zenyatta. If you have a Zenyatta that damage orbs the tank, you win. And then you have a Zenyatta that damage orbs the backline, then you lose. And so you think, okay, well, Zenyatta should discard orb the tank, because that's the correct way to play Zenyatta. Because you've seen always when he does this, you win. And when he does something else, you lose, right? And that is what your brain tells you. And that is the trap. That is a big trap. There are two fundamental biases at work here. Okay? I don't know the English correct terms for them, sadly. Maybe I should have looked them up before the video. Well, I'm an idiot. I'm sorry for that one. But the first bias you have is, if something bad happens to you, you are unlucky. You are chipser. If something bad happens to your teammates, they are idiots. They just fail. They don't know how to play the game. So if I go here, dive and die, it's because I'm unlucky. Oh, Elohell, tank didn't react. Enemies made a random flick and killed me. If my tank goes in and dies, well, he doesn't know how to dive, right? That's the first bias you have. Like, you have, your brain tells you different things, depending on if something bad happened to you, or if something bad happened to an enemy. Like, if you have an accident with your car, or you do something stupid, like you run a red light, it's not even an accident, you run a red light with your car, you say, oh, it's just unlucky, I had my telephone was ringing, the sun was blending, there was a dog on the left side starting to run on the road, so, well, then you should have pressed the brakes. Maybe a guy from behind you was pushing really hard, and you know you were just unlucky, so you ran the red light. But if someone in front of you runs the red light, it's just because they are bad drivers, right? I mean, they ran a red light, of course they're bad drivers. And that's the first bias you have to know that you have, that you estimate your own failures different than the failures of your teammate. And that makes it already look like your teammates are a lot worse than you, but that is not entirely the case. Okay, so I have looked up how the biases are actually called. So I have now, so what I described now is close to a self-serving bias, which is also in this category, which would be a rather third bias, which is, if you do something good, it's because of your own skill. But if something bad happens, it's again because of bad luck or something, other outside things outside of our control. So we do not take responsibility for our failures, but we take responsibility for our wins. So if I go now here and kill 3 enemies, it's because I have awesome aim with Sojourn. But if I fail, it's because my tank didn't allow for a good position. Like, it would be roughly the same ballpark as estimating your teammates different than you estimate yourself. Evaluate your teammates different than yourself. It's the same, you evaluate your losses different than your wins. And another bias that is very important is the confirmation bias. So, it means just the following. Your brain likes if you're right. And your brain tells you every time when you have a belief, it notices you every time something falls into this belief. So, for example, if you believe women are bad drivers, you are more likely to notice a bad driving female than a bad driving male. You're more likely to ignore the bad driving male, but you will notice the bad driving female. If you believe you sleep poorly at full moon, you will remember every single full moon when you have slept poorly. But if you count them, you will not reach 12. Like, there were full moons where you slept well, but you just don't remember them. Because your brain just remembers things that confirm your own bias, your own beliefs. So, in Overwatch context, it means if you believe a certain way of playing this Winston, or the previous D.Va which we had, is correct, and a different way of playing this D.Va is wrong, your brain will notify you every time you won with a correct tank play, and it will notify you every time you lost with a wrong tank gameplay, which just improves, kind of bolsters, it deepens your own bias. So because you go into the game with a certain expectation of your teammates, what you think is correct play, and your brain will tell you when it sees the correct play and it has the outcome you predicted, it will tell you more that your prediction is correct than it will tell you if your prediction is wrong. So which means, if, for example, if you think this type of Winston gameplay is wrong, but you still win, then you are more likely to think that you won because of your own skill. It will not tell you that this type of Winston gameplay might be also correct, and you just understood it wrong. And all this entire intro is just really to tell you your teammates might not be wrong about how they play. They do not know less about the game than you do. Okay? They have the same level of knowledge. I repeat, your teammates has just the same amount of skill as you have. They are not throwing your games more than you do yourself. They are not winning your games more than you do yourself. In both directions, of course. Okay. Also, a big intro just to understand that our teammates are not there to ruin your day. They are also just playing their own game. Okay. What do we do now with this knowledge? Now that we know that this Winston is doing this, what he's doing might be because he has actually won games doing this. Your Lucio with speed boost on the top right, not in range to the tank, and be doing that because he has won games doing that. Okay. It might also be because they are testing stuff. It might also be because they watched a guide and didn't understand what they meant in the guide. Might be possible. You don't know. But it allows you to understand that what you think about the game is wrong. And the thing is now the following. You have a certain experience in Overwatch. And you have built your own bias of what is correct gameplay. But your teammates have a different set of experience, a different set of biases of what is correct play. They have some overlapping parts in the center, but they also have outside parts that do not overlap. Like you mentioned a Venn diagram, like your experience, your teammate's experience here, so you see both ends. Here there's two bubbles of the two experience points, and they overlap in the center and have non-overlapping parts on the edges, right? Basically, it even doesn't matter how high you climb, you always have some parts of games where you have different knowledge than your teammates, and it means if you do not meet your teammates in the center where you have a common experience, a common understanding of how you win, you will do different things and you will be unaligned with your teammates and you will not understand how to play with them. And that is most likely what's going on. Your Winston has maybe a 55% win rate on Winston, and you have a 55% win rate on Sojourn. But maybe this 55% of both of you were played on game types where you do not meet. You do not understand each other how you have won these games. And that is what actually was happening here. It's not that your teammates are worse. It's just that their understanding of the situation is different than yours. Okay, and that is something to understand. And now, you can take this as your advantage. And this is really the key point of the video. How do you use this to your advantage? And for this, you need to kind of a little bit broaden your understanding of what you're doing. Like what you're doing here is really learning. Like you try to learn the game, and for that you need to watch you play the game, see what works, what doesn't work. Then when you find something that doesn't work, you try to think of something why it didn't work. If you see something that worked, you try to think why it worked, and then you formulate a theory. Maybe it worked because you attack the same target as your Winston. Okay. Just a very simple theory. Like the more people attack the same target as your Winston, the more likely it's that you win. Okay, and so you contribute to that direction. That's your theory now. And now you just go into the games and you test this theory. The problem with that is that you will run out of things you notice after a while. Like, I have now played Soldier for a while. I might not even know what else I could try. Like this gameplay for me, from my side, looked correct. Let's watch this again. Like you remember my plan, like charge railgun, go and find a headshot, find a solo target to fight. Did I do all these things? Because this is my experience, how you win games, right? This is my experience. Skip. Sorry for that. Okay. So easy to slow down the Zarya, do some damage, start charging my railgun, waiting for my tank to go in so I can charge more. Not shoot too much into Zarya, but find targets. Yeah. Okay, now the fight is lost. We lost our idea. The fight was lost a little bit before, I know, but you know, I did perfectly, right? I played my gameplay perfectly. And now I think, could I have aimed better? Should I go do more Kovacs aim training? Like, what should I do? I used the E on a target that was slow, so my E was used. There was nowhere I could have slide more, so my slide was also used correctly. I didn't have ult, so what is there? And that's the thing. I do not know what is there. I'm out of ideas. And that is the point where you need to start looking at your teammates. That is the entire point. Start looking at your teammates, what you could have done. Watch at your tank. Let's watch the tank. It might be wrong what he's doing. It's totally fine. He might have no clue what he's doing either. Maybe he's playing the first time D.Va in his entire life. You don't know. But it's okay. You can watch LeBron's play. It would be the same. You just watch him and try to understand what was his thought process. So he just checks what's going in. He's just scouting. Just presses random buttons because he thinks he will not use them in the next 5 seconds. So just preparing to go in, basically, to soften up the enemies a little bit. Just soften up, you know. Make Zarya use your bubbles before he goes in. He saw a few enemies. He didn't see something on high ground, so he thinks, okay, the right side might be good to go. So because there were no enemies, so it might be free space, free real estate. Yeah, so he goes in. Oh, there are my squidgies. Zarya is on the front. I'm behind the Zarya. I'm attacking the squidgies now. And this is the gameplay of this D.Va. This is his thought process. Now, of course, what is the problem? Well, the problem is he wasted all his cooldowns before he went in, didn't reset properly, and then just flew in ahead of his team before his team even had a chance to catch up on this pillar. He should just have waited here 1-2 seconds. Maybe he went to high ground, maybe kind of went a little bit slower, maybe he should have instead gone to the left side, maybe baited Zarya further out more, maybe flew deeper, like he's just too shallow of the dive, like he should have wrapped all around here with his dive and shoot from here maybe, like no, just variations. All the things he could have done better, okay? But now let's see. But that was his game plan, like just flying to the squishies, basically. That's his entire game plan. Just flying, use up Zarya bubbles and fly to the squishy team, and then you win. That's the D.Va's team. And now you think, did your plan actually consider that? Like, did you even think about doing that? Wait, no, you didn't. My plan was to charge railgun and then one-shot something. Like, you do not need to soften up Zarya, you do not go for, you know, low damage on same targets on the squidgies, like no, you didn't. My plan was entirely different. Our plans do not synchronize at all, in this case. And that's the opportunity, you know, see, okay, maybe, just maybe, a dive works better if several people dive the same target at the same time. Hey, who would have thought of that? And you know, instead of chasing your own goals, you might think, okay, maybe next time look at what your D.Va is actually doing and try to synchronize with your D.Va. And that is just giving you the opportunity to formulate a theory of what you could have done. Okay. It might be wrong, it might be right, the theory, it doesn't matter. It really does not matter. And the thing is, if you have your game plan and you execute the game plan like 100 times, you have trained your game plan. You will not make big jumps on this game plan anymore after some time. Like, you see minor things are here, half a second, here half a second, but your gameplay more or less will not change anymore. And that is a downfall. You need adaptation, and you need to figure things out that work, and you need to see things that do not work. Okay, both are helping you to develop a better game plan. Even if you develop now a plan, like go with your D.Va, and then you lose the next 10 games because you tried and it was a wrong choice, you learned that this is the wrong choice. Okay, that is a good information for you. And that will improve your gameplay. This type of thinking, this type of analyzing, this type of understanding, thinking, what is my team doing? How can I use my team to get more success? And now let's see, how would I have adapted my game plan?
Going somewhere?
So I now have a D.Va, so my game plan now changed. So my game plan is I either charge my railgun and do my solo stuff if my tank does not go in, but I keep my E and my dash, my charge, my slide, for when my tank goes in. And then I can go in with my tank and try to shoot the same target as my tank. Okay?
2, 1.
So I do not... so I still slide here forward, because if D.Va doesn't boost, then here... so I need to get in position, basically. But I would not use my E here anymore, because it has a 15-second cooldown. It's too long. I would keep it for when we actually dive something. Then I charge railgun and wait for my D.Va. This is I would do the same. I would not go here back to the cover, but continue shooting because I'm full. No reason to shoot back. Now I see Genji go right, I see D.Va go right, and now I would slide in with my D.Va. And basically go in the same angle, so slide up here probably and just shoot the same thing that my D.Va shoots. Okay, here we see Soldier, Anna stuff, so we could shoot from here. And right click something here, throw my E inside. Okay. And that might have won me the game. Because then I would have been in sync with my tank, and I would have a new theory to train. Okay, this is of course just one example of how you do it. And basically, and I don't know if you noticed, but it was only very brief. But after this team fight, the next one, a tank is basically exactly the same thing. But this time he thought, okay, it did work with D.Va, but D.Va has only 3 seconds of defense matrix. My team cannot dive with me easily because, well, it's a matrix for my own. But now I have a Winston. Now I have a bubble. So if I dive now, my Genji, my Lucio, my Soldier can dive with me easily. That's why my tank thinks here. It's good thinking, it's correct. So if he goes now onto the squishies, team can follow him. Like he's now set up, his team should know where he jumps. He goes in, executes. Well, it's a terrible execution again, but well, he trains. And now you see he places bubble, and this entire space is now free to take. Okay? And now look at the Genji. Well, did he use a space? No, he deflects, but no one is looking at him. No one is shooting at this Genji. Like, right? This Lucio, this Genji is throwing, not the tank. The tank provides the space and the targets for Genji to execute, but Genji failed, right? Stupid Genji. And look at the Soldier. Slide is available. Did we slide it with our monkey? Did we have our E ability? Our Winston? No, we threw our E somewhere. Well, it was somewhat okay. The E was okay. Because, well, if Winston would have jumped more straight, then it would have hit something, right? I don't know, maybe I threw it before he even jumped. I didn't pay attention, sorry. So it might have been a terrible E. It had no effect whatsoever anyway. It now again. Why do I stop shooting? Why do I go back? Well, I need to reload. Okay. Okay, I worked with my Winston system. Okay. What did my Lucio do? The misdirect get. He turns up heal boost while not being in target of anything that is healing in the heal boost. They do speed boost your team into with your monkey. We are diving here. Yeah, you see? And that's how the entire perspective changed. How the entire perspective changes. In reality, we would have won this Winston jump, even though it was a terrible, terrible jump. But it's just a platinum game. Why do you expect perfect jumps? Of course, it's not a Grandmaster Winston. Of course, his jump sucks. Of course. But it was good enough. It was good enough for this Winston to win half of his games. And you have, his entire team decided to be on the loser half because they didn't believe in him and did not follow up on him, basically. So if some of his teammates would have followed up on this jump better, we would have won this with this jump. Even though it was a terrible jump. But look at the defense of the enemies. The defense was also terrible, right? It's not like your Winston's right. Like everyone's terrible at this game, at this level. Like no one can play this game, realistically. Everyone's bad. So even though your Winston looked the worst, actually, you know, where is Baptiste's left click? Hey, what is he shooting? Like he has 2 shoot modes, left click, right click, and he can alternate them without downtime. Where are the left clicks? Like, you know, everyone is throwing the same amount, including you. And that's the point. Like, watch your games. Try to understand what was your team trying to do, and try to understand how can you use it. Formulate a theory how you can use your teammates to win your games. Okay? Like, imagine these are Skyrim NPCs fighting a dragon. You would not complain that the guards of the city are doing dumb stuff fighting a dragon. You would just say, okay, they are standing here shooting the little arrows at the dragon, and the dragon comes and burns them all. Okay, and then you think, okay, how can you use that to bait the dragon to the town and then kill the dragon? Right? You do not think of, oh no, I write angry letter to Bethesda. My NPCs are throwing. You think about, how do I use my NPCs to kill this dragon? And you do the same here. How do you use this NPC to slay the dragon with the enemy team? Yeah, basically that's how you do it. If you have any questions, please write into the comments. I would really love to get more questions. Also, this is a very new channel, so we profit a lot from every view time, every click, every thumbs up, every like, even every dislike. If you dislike the video, also just tell me why you disliked it. Try to improve. I know it's not a high quality production. I'm just talking here. I'm not even very good at talking. That's how it is. I'm streaming live on Twitch, basically Tuesday, Thursday, Saturday, usually. I usually do my own gameplay, but also watch reviews for other teammates of my Discord. We have a Discord together with other streamer and Yato. And yeah, so if you want anything, feel free to just spam me with everything you got. I love it all, every interaction. So thank you very much for watching. You're awesome. Bye bye. Until next time.